Loneliness. It feels like a pen friend is a bit on a search. I mean, who of us doesn't like a bit of a search? I love to draw treasure maps that I afterwards tune to look old style with flamed edges and something like that. And I loved fantasizing about going on that search and finding this treasure. Or how often I've searched for the beginning of the rainbow and this pot full of gold the little dwarf left there. It was one of my favorite games in holidays when I visited my grandmother and met there with my cousins, encouraging them to help me to find that beginning of the rainbow. I fantasized about what could happen when we'll find it, and if the dwarf would be there, he wouldn't find our interest in his gold very nice. And I thought and I imagined conversations with him and about how I just could get a tiny bit of his gold, and told my cousins if the dwarf was there that I will speak. Therefore, we often ran over the meadows when a rainbow appeared. We all have to experience our interests, our desires, and our searches in some way. But back to the start. He thinks that I must have to feel loneliness because I'm alone. I feel his loneliness. He says he couldn't imagine this feeling right now because there's so much ongoing on in the surroundings. I know that is loneliness. Loneliness is the beloved who is always with us, and maybe she's the only one that we grant and share with each other without envy. Elmar Kupke. My loneliness was born when men praised my talkative thoughts and blamed my silent virtues. Khalil Gibran. Loneliness is one thing, solitude another. To one man, lonesomeness is the flight of the sick one. To another, it is the flight from the sick ones. Friedrich Nietzsche. Solitude is a beautiful thing, but you need someone to tell you that solitude is a beautiful thing. Honoré de Balzac. Those who feel doomed to loneliness can still do things to make their loneliness blessed. Arthur Schnitzler. Solitude is the school of wisdom. Solitude is a nest of thoughts. If a tooth knocked out of a jaw had a feeling, no doubt it would feel as alone as I do. Alexei Maximovich Peshkov. Thine I remember, quietly impressed, even in the loneliness. Yes, in the thickest society, my spirit hovers around thee. Wilhelm Busch. Loneliness can never give birth to be alone. The one has to keys for the other to be. Jiddu Krishnamurti. If you can't stand solitude, maybe you bore others too. Bob Gordon. Loneliness is a strong food. Sissy. Loneliness is fine when you are at peace with yourself and have something definite to do. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Be alone, that is when ideas are born. Nikola Tesla. Accordingly, it cannot be said that the love of solitude is an original characteristic of human nature. It is rather the result of experience and reflection, and these in their turn depend upon the development of intellectual power and increase with the years. Arthur Schopenhauer. Solitude is the path over which destiny endeavors to lead man to himself. Hermann Hesse. Consider well before you immerse yourself in solitude whether your own company will be good for you. Marie von Ebner-Eschenbach. What could I add? For me, loneliness is a feeling that I need people. Only humans can make me lonely. They have to be there or to be absent to create loneliness. But when they're here and I'm lonely, I'd rather be alone. Being alone has nothing to do with feeling loneliness. For sure this feeling will occur, but then I know I'm alone and we are all one. So in real, I'm not alone, I'm all one. And share just the feeling that we all have to share or that we all have to feel. So it's an energy. It's just an energy. And then I'm able to join the feeling of loneliness as long as it likes to stay. And I think of loneliness itself and I feel it. I'm feeling it in my body and observe what it does, and then I feel the energy. Just knowing how many people are feeling the exact same thing right now allows me to connect with that feeling and create love. Because I know I'm not alone. And at that very moment you will experience that you become lighter, there is light or warmth around you. A warm, fresh air softens you, or a hand around or on your shoulder or something like that. And this gives you a feeling of warmth, security and love. And now you send that feeling to the loneliness and to all the others who feel it, so that they too know that they are not alone and just feel what's happening. Namaste.